Welcome to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. This is a 12 Inner Demons homebrew campaign. Cinziak plays Romero Marcus, the targeted. Emrys plays Janessa Wallace, the human street medic. Blue plays Ruin, the social media vampire demon. And Cassie is the storyteller, playing the NPCs and the rest of the world. Windy City Nihilism is an urban horror podcast series. We do not shy away from touchy topics in the politics of horror, mental health, games, and life as a person of targeted identities. Series-wide content warnings include violence, manipulation, state surveillance, police, player conflict, gentrification, racism, unwanted romantic gestures, anti-Blackness, sexism, tension, body paralysis, trauma, monstrous forms, complicated relationships, sex, toxic work environments, death, hopelessness, blood, Eldrich horror, colonization, and existential crisis and dread. Please take care of yourself as you listen. And remember, hope and resistance do best in community. Welcome back to another episode of Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. Last we left off, Romero stood up against his longtime mentor, and Janessa figured some things out with her work partner, but came out to see a now familiar black SUV waiting. Janessa.
I think I step outside the double doors and see the SUV there. And there's a moment where I really just want to turn my head and just walk like as though I don't see it and just ignore this encounter altogether. But I know it's not possible as long as Nico's with the program and everything. Like I have to be able to have some kind of interaction here. So I just kind of walked down the steps, stop at the bottom of the steps, and just wait.
As you walk down the bottom of the steps, he comes out of the car, circles to the sidewalk, and leans against the car. Legs crossed in front of him, but arms just kind of hanging down, open, and looks at you and says, "So how'd it go?"
How'd what go?
The day, the supplies.
Oh, the day was fine, like it usually is. Supplies were put to good use.
Very happy to hear it. So I'm guessing you don't want me to pack them up and take them back.
You'd have to fight Joanne for that.
Good. Well, so then can we acknowledge that maybe I'm not evil incarnate? Maybe I just dropped some supplies off for your program.
Because you bought some color pencils and some crayons, that means you're not evil incarnate?
I feel like evil incarnate doesn't help children, but I don't know, man. Like, come on, Nessa.
What do you want me to say, Ola? What do you really want me to say? Because I distinctly remember a conversation where you told me that these little bullshit-ass after-school programs weren't really the important work. They weren't even on your radar at one point. So what do you want me to say here? What do you want me to meet you with besides suspicion that you show up one day?
Can't people change?
I mean, they can, but also let's not forget that where you and I parted ways, I don't know what you've been doing. I only know what you told me you were going to be doing, and that was not anything that I wanted to be a part of or that necessarily made me feel trustworthy towards you.
What if I paid for dinner and caught you up on what I've been doing?
Absolutely not. And if that's what this was, then we're definitely done here. And I grab my little canvas bag and turn.
Whoa. You said you didn't know what I've been up to. That's part of why you're suspicious. I offered to tell you what I've been up to, and now that's wrong. Is there any winning with you?
You could just tell me what you're up to. You don't have to try to be slick with the whole buy you dinner part.
All right, well, on a sidewalk at dinner time, I've been up to a lot of trying to help the community and bridge some gaps and make sure that kids around here have more than we did. Is something wrong with that?
Mm-hmm. Last time we spoke, your idea of helping the community was consulting with the police department.
And you see how helpful that has been?
Helpful.
Bridging gaps, trying to stop them from shooting folk.
Has it stopped them from shooting folk? Because I don't think it has. Last time I checked, there's still very much shooting folks and getting away with it. Because then they can say, oh, we've just assigned this officer to, training, remediation on lethal use of force. And he gets his pension and we all move on. So tell me how much that has helped.
We can do more than one thing at a time, and shit takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Nessa, shit takes time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. And I know that there have been umpteen generations of people in this country, in this city, who have tried and wasted all of their energy trying to make the police department a better version of itself. But there is no better version of them. And that's why you and I we just don't see things the same way, because you think there is. You think there's a better version of them.
I think we need a middleman until we can get to where you want to go.
And that's you.
Ain't nobody doing this alone. And doing it alone don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he pulls a card out of his pocket and he hands it out to you.
I take it.
No dinner, no more, I won't stop by, no nothing, but if y'all need another order of supplies, it's above board, but my name's not on it. If you email the general line, I made sure y'all were set up as one of the programs we donate to, that we re-grant to. You ain't got to deal with me. Charlene manages that part of the stuff. I don't fucking know. She does it.
Mm-hmm.
He takes out another card and offers it to you. But if you do want to talk to me, this where you can reach me.
I take that one.
He holds his hands up, backs off, and says, sorry for offering you dinner. Thought I was being nice. Clearly unwanted. Note taken.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you have a good night. If you change your mind about that dinner, you got my card.
I'll be sure to give Charlene's information to Joanne.
He kind of just gives a little nod and a little shake of the head as he turns around and gets back in his car. And it hums to life. And he pulls off.
I look at the card, the first one that he gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn it over. And then I look at the other one, the second one that he gave me.
Mm-hmm. The first one that he gave you, what you see a clean, kind of cheap, white card, just white cardstock. It's got some cute, colorful lettering to it. And the front of the card says, project for a better future and youth lives. partner contact. And the back, it says Miss Charlene Davis, MED. And it's got a email address and a phone number and a fax number.
Okay.
The second card says Project for Better Future and Youth Lives, but it's smaller and it's across the top. And then under that, it's got Ola's name. It says he's the CEO. And it's got a phone number and email similar to the other one. Also the .org email address. And then on the back, written by hand, it says, in case you think the devil might be a fun time. And it's got a cell phone number written on it.
I roll my eyes and I just jam both of the cards into my bag and I'll start walking towards the bus stop.
Okay.
I take out my phone and I go to the group chat and I just shoot off a text message. Where are y'all at? Can anybody meet for dinner?
Everybody gets a group message.
What time of day is it?
It is evening, so you have you are in the third of 4 time slots for the day.
Okay. If it's the evening, then after lunch, I think right now I'd be at a park, a place to just people watch and for people to just kind of ambiently exist. I can also just exist there without drawing attention to myself and have a bit of alone, alone, but with people time, I think would be what we're looking at here.
Okay. So we'll say you're sitting in a park and your phone buzzes.
If it's a message from Janissa, I'm like, sure, that's fine. Where?
I text back, meet me at the Jamaican spot. And I drop the location in there for Alexis.
Alexis does respond. They're like, all right, I'm gonna go now. Some little running emojis.
And I just hop on the bus and start making my way down there.
Janessa, you hop on the bus, and about 2 stops from where you got on, a man, kind of haggard looking, little wild eyes, gets on, looks around, spots you, and comes and sits next to you.
I just make eye contact with him. I say, good afternoon.
So you and your friends, you're alive still. That's good.
Do I know you?
We met. I rode in your bag. You had a really comfy bag, actually. Yeah.
Felix?
Yeah. That's the name I gave you.
Weren't you an octopus like the last time I saw you?
Probably not. I don't it's kind of similar, but also it's really hard to remember how humans look. So it ends up being a little different because I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, because this is not what you look. This is not what you look. I mean, it does matter if you're going to just walk up to me and start insinuating that I might have died at some point. You should probably lead with your name before. No, but I'm saying if you lead with your name.
I thought I'm a demon. Why are you lying?
No, I'm not lying. I'm saying if you know what? Never mind.
So, word is that the big guy's upset because y'all trying to stop things, but also not super upset because you didn't. And I'm just wondering, I went and put myself out on a ledge to get some information. And I think if y'all aren't going to be serious, I could leave. I could just leave. I could just go.
I mean, you literally were not there when, according to you, we almost died. So I'm not quite sure how you going would be different than now.
I mean, I take this information with me. You probably need this information. And honestly, no one invited me.
You know what, Felix? You are strange, whatever you are. You like act like you want to help, but then you like hedge all the time. Do you actually want to help, or do you just want attention?
I am helping.
Are you? Because I don't know anything more now than when we started talking.
Okay, well, that's a lie. You do know. You know that I know what happened, which means I have information, and the information I have is correct, because if it was incorrect, I wouldn't know what you did the other day. And since I do know, and you know that I'm right, that means the other information I have.
I stand up and I push the stop button.
The bus stops at the next bus stop. And since you know that I'm right, that means, and he follows you off the bus, that means that you need the information I have, because I found out some juicy stuff, and I think that instead of repeating myself,
I'm like walking, I'm like power walking right now. Like, I'm so annoyed, and I'm just like, this wasn't even my stop. Like, I'm just like power walking to get to my destination. I was just hoping to like get away from him. And so now I'm just like...
Felix is keeping pace very easily, and in fact is now like walking backwards so that he can be like talking directly to you, because he heard somewhere that it's rude to not be looking at someone when you're talking if you can. And so he is walking backward in front of you, talking to you. So I think instead of repeating myself, that we should go talk to your friends, especially the little morsel that caused all this, so that I can tell you all what I know, so that you'll know what I know, and then you can stop thinking that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm not helping, because I am helping. You just don't know that I'm helping yet because you haven't talked to me.
Okay, Felix.
Can I ride in the bag?
What?
Can I ride in your bag? This walking thing, it's kind of tiring.
If I let you ride in the bag, will you stop talking until we get there?
Yes.
If you start talking, I'm dumping you out of my bag.
Okay, but if you dump me out of the bag, you won't know what I know.
I will take that risk. Just please stop talking and get in the bag. And I just like begrudgingly hold open my canvas bag.
Felix kind of looks around, noticing that the streets kind of, despite all the unrest that's going on and the tension in the air, the street's kind of slow right now. And so Felix kind of shrinks down and like scuttles up your pant and in over your shoulder into your bag, and you hear happy little smushing sounds as this little like octopus looking thing climbs into your bag and curls up onto the very soft miniature Kleenex thing that you have that's just a little bit open because it never actually closes once you've opened it once. And so he curls up on top of the soft Kleenexes to ride in your bag.
I'm gonna have to I just mutter to myself, gonna have to throw those away. All right, well. I just sigh heavily and continue walking the rest of the way to the Jamaican spot.
Okay. Ruin, you get the message for the group chat. Alexis also gets the message, but is hemming and hawing over their computer. You are now awake. Not back to 100%, but much better than you were the other day. And Alexis, without looking up, are you going to this? My computer is still not where I want it to be.
I mean, yeah, something tells me that they might die if I don't help, which would suck and kind of defeat the whole purpose of, you know, the world not ending. So yeah, I'm gonna go. You gotta figure that out. They kind of motion a finger to the laptop.
I don't understand what happened at all. This just shouldn't be possible. But I can bring it or I can go. What are your thoughts?
I say bring it. Maybe work on it while we're just sitting down. Actually, I think you should try to figure that out, because what happened is weird. But I mean, is it really all that weird when we're talking about demons here? You know, like Rue like motions to themselves in their demon form. Like we've seen weirder, I think, at this point.
Okay. Well, cool, but also I need to work.
Yeah.
In order to do this, and I have not been able to do any work. So let's head out. I can keep working on reinstalling my operating systems, my VPN, and all of my other software while we are figuring out how to make sure there's actually a world to work in, I guess.
It kind of fucking sucks that like saving the world, capitalism is still going to be a thing.
Yeah. You'd think if the world is in so much danger, we could like end the capitalism part too.
Right. I mean, hey, capitalism's a good business for my kind at least, so they should shrug their shoulders. Goes
you see, Alexis looks at you with pure disgust as you say that.
Incredibly fair. Ruin gets a little snack off that. That emotion that comes up. They're like, sorry, I gotta do it. Okay, come on. Should we, they look outside? Are people still arguing outside? And like, are they still like fucking 50-lead cop cars?
Yes, there's still a lot happening outside, but it's not impassable. It's dinner time, so a lot of folks have just not, they've taken their arguing inside. We'll put it that way.
I think Ruin kind of stares at like that scene for a second and will say more weird shit. It's all connected. It has to be.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong. How well do you know this? What's everybody been saying? Because you got there before I did, and I don't really know much about what the hell happened.
Ruin will, like, as they're like getting ready and the two are leaving the apartment, Ruin will catch Alexis up on everything that happened and will say, I think we tried to fry a fish bigger than we had a pot for with that one. Frankly, we may need to start small, dream small a little bit right now. But shit, I don't know, maybe Romero has encountered a seal today. Hopefully, maybe.
Okay. All right, let's go, I guess. Jamaican place.
Oh yeah, I'm so fucking hungry. And I think the two, yeah, they if they're too far from it, they'll take the bus. Niggas might not have a job later, so definitely can't take Uber. Don't want to risk it. Don't want to spend a little bit of money we got in the coffers. But yeah, they'll make their way over to the Jamaican spot.
Okay. Everyone starts to make their way over. It's a weird time going through the city. Whether you're on the bus or on foot or in a car, the tension that fills the air is palpable. You feel it setting you on edge. Feel yourself ready to pop off, to go after whoever, because it doesn't feel good, and something in you tells you that the best way to fix things not being good is to go after someone else and make it their problem. But you all resist that urge as you make your way to a Jamaican restaurant. Who arrives at this restaurant first? What kind of Jamaican restaurant y'all meet up at?
I would probably get there first because I think I'm closer in terms of the city to it, since it's nearby where I usually do my wound care medic shifts. It's the same Jamaican spot that Romero and I met at earlier in the week. It's just a small kind of hole in the wall spot, very narrow, bulletproof glass in front of the cashier. It's got a small little window that faces the street with like 3 little stools perched up there, and a little, for folks if want to eat in. And then it's got like a small, maybe like a card table size little table off to the side with 2 chairs. It's very much like a neighborhood spot kind of vibe. As I arrive, I would sit in the same seat in the center by the window that I sat on that day when Romero and I were in here last, and just wait for everyone else to arrive.
I think Romero would be the last person to arrive because he's walking.
Ruin would arrive second, and I think seeing Janessa, they'd just slide in the stool next to her.
Hey, you feeling better?
Oh, never better. They do not look like 100% at all. Oh, and speaking of which, I have a question, OGM.
Mm-hmm.
With my demonic origin ability, it says that I have a ability called Life Drain Parasite. So once per day, I can make a TN7 against a human I can touch. It'll damage the target for that much, but it'll heal me or my bodied human stress by the number of successes. Would that also apply to my grip? Like, could I heal my grip from that?
Grip is your version of stress. So when it says it can heal you, it means that yes, you could heal. So by resting, you naturally healed
up to 8.
Yeah, you healed 5, so you're up to 8. So you could attack someone on your way.
I think like Ruin kind of looks at Janessa like upon being like, "Oh, I'm great," sarcastically. They'll look around, see the person at the register. They're like, "I'm gonna go get a bite," and
The person at the register is behind the glass,
and
they have one of those spinny things.
Okay.
So there's no touching that person. And when you tell Janessa, "Oh, I'm great," Alexis looks at you, sits down next to 2 of you with his laptop, and they look at Janessa and say, "No, they ain't."
I don't know what demons are supposed to look like, all the time, but they definitely don't look like they looked like when we met, at least. So I think yesterday was rough.
Oh, yeah.
Do you eat food? What do you eat? Get a bite.
No, I don't need food. Food is fun. It's a great experience. So I'll eat if I want to eat. But no, I drain a little bit of life from people. Would you mind if
drain a little bit of life?
Like, can I?
They said snack actually. Drain? No, you may not. Okay. And I kind of like clutched my canvas bag in between the 2 of us, like, excuse me.
As you clutch the bag between your hands at the little like opening of the bag, a little octopus crawls out and, looking at you, Ruin, starts waving a tentacle back and forth like no.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Felix is here too.
Hello, Felix.
I was wondering where he was. Sorry, I'm a little bit late to the party. I walked here.
Oh, well, welcome. Grab a seat. Come on.
Yeah, and I kind of like, even though these stools don't move, they're bolted to the ground, I still kind of like scooch my body as though I'm making space on the other stool that's on the other side.
Is there a reason that you like picking this place? Wasn't there some kind of chaos that we ran into the last time we were here?
Yeah, believe me, the chaos followed me home. It followed me to work one day, and then it followed me to work again for a second day. But I just like this spot, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pop up real quick and just go, grab whatever they got. I know at this time of day they probably don't got much left over, so I'm really just like, give me whatever, to the guy behind the counter.
Mm-hmm. Guy looks at you and smiles, knowing that you tend to come in. This tends to be one of your normal days. He looks and says, "I got you." and pulls up a already packaged styrofoam and everything and puts it in the spinner, spins it around for you. And you see that it's your normal order.
Ooh.
What does he hand you?
I think it's just real simple rice and peas with curry chicken, but with oxtail gravy instead of the curry chicken gravy, and like a few plantain on the side. And I think that's what I usually get, but I like come here early on those days because I know that the plantain especially always sell out. So I think when I open the styrofoam container and I like see it in there, I think I really have to try really hard not to start crying, because I feel just very overwhelmed by the last 2 days. And just this person being very kind to me and thinking about me is just a little extra than maybe emotionally I'm able to hold back right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they kind of look past you at your friends and they hold up the 1 second sign. It seems like they said something, but it's so hard to hear through this glass if they're not right at the speaker. And walks around and comes back with another bag and says, for your friends.
Oh my goodness. You didn't have to. Thank you so much. And I like balance the one container on top of the other. I like start fumbling around in my bag. I just pull out random bills and I just push them through the little spin the little spinny thing around, and I just kind of balance everything.
He takes some of them, but pushes the rest back, says no charge.
Oh, and I just kind of scoop them up. So I'm holding the 2 containers and the random bills, and I walk back over to the table. I think like 1 or 2 tears do escape, and because my hands are full, I can't wipe them away.
I see that they actually had things over here that you were looking for. There's nothing quite like being at a Jamaican restaurant where they do have the things that you're looking for and it's not all finished at the end of the day. I feel you.
All right.
They're so nice here. They're so nice. I'm just like literally emotional, like just this weird, just most saddest looking girl in another hoodie with like a screen printed like smiley face on it and unlaced sneakers, holding 2 Jamaican platters.
Everyone like takes them from your hand and is like, okay, how about we start slow? How was everybody's day, Jen? And they like are looking at you this side.
So I guess, Janessa, they finally adopted you. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I won something, and I just sit down and start like sadly wetly eating rice and peas. My day was just ridiculous. Guess who showed up at my job yesterday? And he brought all this stuff for the kids, and then he was like, oh, you're so ungrateful. Why are you mad and so suspicious? And I was like, because you're an asshole. But then my coworker was like, well, we could just take his stuff because he didn't make us sign any paperwork. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. And then there's this other boy there, and his name is Nico, and he's so nice. But I'm like, what if Ola's just using him, right? Like, what if he's a pawn and this whole demon situations is happening? And then like, what if the kids get caught up in the middle of it? And so then he was waiting for me after work, and then he was like, oh, let me take you to dinner. And I was like, absolutely not. And then he gave me his card, he wrote his phone number on the back, and he's like, oh, just in case you change your mind. And I like didn't rip it up and immediately. And so like now I'm thinking about like, what does that mean? Because I put it in my bag, and should I not have put it in my bag? And it's just like a lot. And I don't know, y'all. We got to do something because this is too much.
Maybe a collective.
I turn to
breath.
Ruin. Is he a demon? And I turn to Ruin in this moment, and I think you see just such a look of hope on my face. as I ask you if he's a demon, like, I'm hoping that you'll say yes, like that you will please say yes, that he is a demon and we do have to get rid of him. And then when we fix all of this, everything will go away. And I think you just see how desperate I am for you to say that yes.
Has Ruin seen Ola before?
You haven't, because Ola is not a demon.
Ruin puts a empathetic hand on Jen's shoulder and is like, no, that nigga is not a demon.
And I think I just my head just like, I like wilts and like flop my head forward on your shoulder. And I'm just like, oh, that means I'm going to have to talk to him for real.
I mean, look, we see where not talking about our shit can get us. It can attract archdemons. Whoa, that's fucking wild. I don't think it's an entirely bad thing to talk your shit through with him. And I'll be real, he does sound like a prick. However, he seems to be trying in a way he understands. And I think that's worth acknowledging at the very least. And I think how you feel about him and things you've experienced with him is still fucking super valid. Again, I think this guy is a dick. He sounds like it. I don't agree with tossing money at problems. But I mean, if the money is helping you and it's helping the kids that you fucking care about, who cares?
I care a lot because money always comes with strings, especially...
All money ain't good money, that's true.
And like, he had a card in his pocket with his personal phone number already written on it. It wasn't like in the moment he was like, hey, let me write my number down for you. Like, he came prepared. Like, and then he wonders why I'm suspicious. And I'm like stabbing the like steamed cabbage. Like, the fork is going through the styrofoam container at this point.
Cabbage juice is leaking out on the counter.
And like furiously like jab some cabbage in my mouth.
Romero just gets up quietly from the table, grabs like a bundle of napkins and just puts them in place to absorb things before they start spilling everywhere without a word.
And I'm just chewing furiously in this moment. And it's like, you know, people change, they grow, that's fine and whatever. But it's like, and then he does stuff like that. And you just realize like how just premeditated shit is, you know? Like, he engineered this whole moment where he was gonna come into my life and save the day. And it's like, this is what he does. This is what he does. He has to make himself the guy, you know? And
the door to the restaurant opens and the no longer haggard, but the same general guy, but in slightly different clothes. Like, instead of having stripes where it was like green with blue stripes, now the shirt is blue with green stripes. Instead of being haggard, he's kind of well kempt. The man from the bus, or an approximation of the man from the bus, Janissa walks in through the door and directly over to y'all and says, so I obviously couldn't do it here, so I thought I'd leave and come back so that I could tell you all what I know.
Oh, yeah, it's Felix, y'all. It's just Felix. And I just wave and continue sadly shoveling cabbage into my mouth.
Felix waves at you all and looks directly at you, Ruin, and says, you can't have this, one's mine.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that from earlier. Fine. They like cross their arms. This one, I call dibs on the next one.
Felix looks at you and points to Alexis, who is looking at you both, eyebrows corked and unsurprised. You have one.
Yeah, but I need her up and running though.
So, and Felix looks and says, so, congratulations, you didn't die, and also, you all didn't do your jobs, but I did my job, so I figured you all should know what I know. So, big man's unhappy, but also kind of happy because you didn't do your job. But what I hear is that there's a museum There's a museum that weird new things are happening at. And so weird new things happening probably, at least as far as I'm concerned, and based on what I've seen, probably means that you need to go look at it.
Well, what kind of weird shit are we talking about here?
You know, just your normal run of the mill interdimensional spaces appearing. So I think it's the, what's it, what'd they say? The Salb Museum of African something rather.
That place, okay. Well, shit. Are we talking, I mean, we just got our asses, I got my ass handed to me by a demon. I'm not too keen on running in and getting my ass handed by another one. Are we talking a big fish or small fish here?
Isn't it important fish? Important fish.
Okay.
Fish doesn't size important fish.
All right. What time of the day is it right now? Like early evening?
Mid-evening. We're gonna say at this point, by the time y'all get there, we'll say it's around, you're all hitting around 7.
Will the museum be closed around that time?
Yes.
Little break-in action? Ruin.
No.
Tips down their glasses, wiggles their eyebrows. I can help break in.
No, we can just go tomorrow.
I think Ruin frowns and conjures up a little like kind of smoky pocket watch that sways back and forth, and it's like time is ticking.
I have one of those in case you forgot, Rowan.
I did forget actually. And they like look over at it to see what the timer is on it.
It's on 4.
Fuck.
Question, Felix. Are they happening inside the museum or just around the museum?
My job's information. I find where. You go figure out.
Okay. Unhelpful, as usual. Maybe we can...
Excuse you.
Go...
I was very helpful. Incredibly helpful. I found information. Now you know what I know. I went out. Great risk to myself and others. Found this information. That's helpful. See? Helpful.
Yes. And we are if it turns out to be, we will be very grateful. We could at least go by there and walk around and see if we see anything. I mean, the first seal was just like in an alley, in a vacant lot off an alley. So maybe it's not inside the museum necessarily. Maybe it's just around.
I feel like everybody here has already been through enough, it seems. So I'll just go check that out later on my way home. How about that?
I mean, I feel like given that this supernatural weird stuff is like following us home at this point, I personally would rather I don't want to wait to see who else is going to randomly pop up in my life with what shenanigans.
Allow me to pose and, if I can propose, if I could be so bold as to do that, I would rather not see anybody else in this particular group in any more danger today. So, let's not.
Okay. Noted. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. What if we did? Because, I mean, like we were saying earlier when, we first met Felix, we're in danger every day in this city.
So, what if you did? What if you did what exactly? Because so far, not that this was the part that Felix was here for, because gathering important information about fish and whatnot, our current results are dealing with a minor demon, a major demon, having someone put out of commission for at least a day and a half, one person who is very panicked about the state of a person that they've been bonded to for years, and you literally throwing up after the experience and then having to walk into chaos at your workplace after that. Most of which, by the way, is entirely tied to the fact that I have things that I need to unpack. So maybe I just go and unpack them and all of you get to go home.
I mean, it wasn't really chaos at my job. It was more like emotional turmoil. And like, I see your point, you know, but at the same token...
That is wonderful, and I'm glad that you do, and that we agree on this. I am going to just put some of this stuff away.
I said I see your point. I didn't say I agree.
Going.
So like, you, first of all, you're not going anywhere. So sit down. And I just I like go and put my hand on Romero's shoulder, and I'm just like, you
see me sitting over here without a beef patty. What I'm going to do is get up and get a beef patty.
Okay. I don't know if they're going to have beef patties at this time, but this whole thing where you like sacrifice yourself, singularly flying into danger, like you're like, Frodo or something.
If we're going to have chair time, you're going to have to do that when I have food in my mouth. And then I'm going to go and get a beef patty.
Okay, all right. Go get you a beef patty, because we're going to have chair time. So
everyone is like watching the two of them just truly looking amused at the back and forth.
Because if I just had to talk to my ex, I don't even know what word to use to describe that, 2 days in a row, we gonna have chair time, okay? Because the doors are opening, the floodgates are not holding back the flood anymore.
The sounds of this, right, are like fading as I'm like increasing in distance across the restaurant space and go get the beef patty.
Rude is still there, like listening.
I'm still going.
I asked for 2 beef patties and an Inca Cola.
And I'm literally still talking. Like the fork is like flailing around in my hands as I'm like still monologuing here. And I just continue to talk as though like you did not walk away, basically. Just still going.
The man behind the counter shakes his head, takes your money, hands you what you asked for. These kind of look like the end of the batch beef patties, but you get some beef patties, you get your cola, and he's just kind of looking between you and Janessa, but then goes back to his business.
And like, I feel like as he's looking back and forth between when he catches eyes with me for a second, that's just like he sees that very familiar Lord, here we go. And I think Romero recognizes in the look that they get back, good luck with whatever that is. That's none of my business. Just don't cause her don't do anything that'll mess her up from coming back here. And
yeah. Yep.
I take like a few deep breaths before I walk back over to the table.
So, beef patty had. I think we all need to talk. As much as I don't want to talk about it, because not talking about it is, good too. But I know when to admit defeat, and the universe throwing Ola at me 2 days in a row means that this is not just something that I can ignore.
Maybe Mercury's in micro braids or whatever.
I mean, probably she is, but be that as it may, she is saying that, we need to... Because at the end of the day, we all ended up in this together for a reason.
Alexis looks at both of you and is like... And looks directly at you, Romero, and says, listen, I feel like maybe we can all at least acknowledge that we did better when we were together than when we weren't.
So I want to invite all of you. I want to invite all of you to consider that so far, the last 48 hours has been running into a demon, being pulled into another dimension, seeing several people that I care for almost die, me trying to give them some kind of directive to leave, being concerned that they might die for not listening, and us finally escaping, and then me having to give the most nerve-wracking public speech that I have ever had to give in my life to protect my coworkers from being fired. So, I'm not seeing any more of that for the rest of this week.
I mean, so yeah, we kind of went into it without a game plan. And to be fair, and I'm like brandishing the fork, I did tell y'all not to go. I told y'all not to touch the mirror. I said, don't touch it. And you were like, okay, I'm still going to touch it. And I was like, at least wait for somebody to get there before you touch it.
The mirror literally grew legs, Janessa.
I mean, I just feel like running away at that point was an option, and you didn't make that choice. And so now you're telling us to run away from this situation, and it's giving self-sacrificing right now. Like, do you see that? And I turn to Ruin, and I'm like, you see what I'm getting at here?
Show of hands, does anybody here, aside from Janissa, because of course Janissa does, do we really particularly care about what happens to one human in the middle of Chicago?
Ruin will raise a hand, and then another hand grows, and they will raise that one as well. And they're like, when the human is revolving around the world ending, I mean, yeah. And I mean, I don't know, outside of that, you've kind of grown on me, maybe.
Alexis raises a hand. Felix looks from Janessa to Romero and says, well, I mean, you know, like, normally, not in the slightest. Not at all. You probably couldn't pay me enough. But in this one particular circumstance, to be honest, based on the things that I know and that I know you know and how we all know now, you in particular, yes. Because I have grown accustomed to a certain standard of living, and you're jeopardizing that.
Okay, that was a really selfish way to say that you care about Romero's life. But anyway,
we're demons.
And I turn back. And I turn back to Romero, and I'm like, listen, I get where you're coming from. Okay, sometimes it's easier to just do shit alone and to not have to worry about people screwing it up for you or betraying you or letting you down. I get it. I understand that. And I also know that, like, that only lasts so long before you really start to see, like, the negative consequences of trying to do it all by yourself. So, like, yeah, maybe the last time didn't go so well. We did kind of get thrown into this situation. But one thing I know is that if we come up with a plan and actually talk to each other this time, I'm confident we can figure it out. But running off half-cocked and on your own is certainly not going to help, because not for nothing, but that demon looked pretty excited at the prospect of getting you by yourself. Or did you not notice that part?
Did I not notice that the demon was just kind of like, hey, you know, my boss would very much like a word with you, or that the
big boss.
Or the several other people who have pointed out that they would like to just kind of consume me in things like, you know, daily at this point. No, I certainly did not miss those memos. The nightmares definitely made sure I knew.
Okay, you know, sarcasm not working for you right now, because if you understand that these things want you alone, then why are you trying to run off on your own? And if you get eaten by a demon and they take over the entire world, what do you think is going to happen?
I won't be here to know.
Oh, so you're a selfish one too, just like these two. And I point to Felix and Ruin. So it only matters if you're around to have some, like, what, negative consequence? But if you die first, basically, fuck us, is what you're saying?
If I felt that way, I probably would have stepped in front of a car, and honestly speaking, probably the better use of time considering the way that this current conversation is going. I have never been so angry in my life.
This is you angry?
As I did almost seeing a demon take out everyone. I feel like you can understand wanting not to experience a certain thing ever again in your life. I think you, of all the people here, probably know.
Yeah, I do.
And if that happens to make me a particularly selfish asshole on the level of a demon, Sure.
I just feel like trying to, take the path of least resistance, throw yourself in front of the bullet. Like, you have people here, people and not people, who are trying to help you, who care about whether you live or die. And you're just like, no, I'm gonna do this alone anyway. Like, it's one thing to do things alone because you don't have a choice. Because God knows the world throws enough shit at us that we can only handle by ourselves. But that's not what this is.
Janessa.
Why is it so hard for you right now to let us help you and to understand that we're not going? There's no argument that you can make. There's no rationale that you can offer that is going to make us leave. If you try to walk out of here, I'm just going to follow you. So we can either collaborate and come up with a plan to do whatever needs to be done at the museum, or we could just run in half-cocked like last time and see what happens. But either way, we are going.
So what I'm hearing currently is the answer to the question doesn't matter because we're not listening.
No, I'm listening. I just don't accept.
Well, because I'm not going to be so rude as to not answer the question, here's one. Most of my work over the years, work that you're very familiar with, is driven by me throwing myself in the middle of danger between myself and other people. What else am I supposed to do?
Alexis looks at you, Romero, and says quietly, try something new, maybe? I mean, shit, I'm so used to my computer and that's fucked up at this point. So maybe we all gotta try something new, do something different than what we've been doing.
You know, we have programs available that'll get you a new one if you need one.
Sorry, what?
We have programs that'll just get you a new one if you need one for work.
Oh. So good example, right? I've always done things myself, and I tend to go it alone, and I don't ask for help, and that yielded me a parasitic demon living in my apartment and a broken computer. No offense, Ruin, but you knew something I didn't know, and apparently I can get a new computer. And I wouldn't have known that if I had kept doing things the way I'm used to doing them. So maybe you can also do things differently than you're used to doing them.
Great example, leaning on us. Just ballparking here.
If I see either of you in the state that we were in when we left that mirror dimension, whatever the hell that was, I'm going by myself, and if I die, then I die.
Well, you can try. And I stab a piece of curry chicken and jam it in my mouth. But personally, I think that if we come up with a plan beforehand, we might do better. And since it seems like at least some of this has to do with us dealing with our shit, or at the very least, at least so far, you dealing with your shit.
One of which may or not be related to, trying to get people to take actions and hopefully being heard about this. Which reminds me, work was a doozy today.
And as you say, work was a doozy today. That's actually where we're going to pause this session. So thank you, everyone, for listening to this session of Woke Mental Wellness Presents Windy City Nihilism. Thank you for listening to Woke Mental Wellness Presents Windy City Nihilism, a 12 Inner Demons homebrew podcast. This podcast has been made possible in part thanks to a grant from Diversity Saves. Episodes are edited by Marissa Ewing of Hemlock Creek Productions. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review and tell your friends. If you want to help financially, you can visit the Woke Mental Wellness Ko-Fi listed in the show notes. Take care, and remember, hope and resistance do best in community.